It's like she has on her phone and her notes app like things to bring up at any given time. You know what I mean? Like
maybe that's
TikTok.
why she was recording it last time, so she could go like dissect the conversation and make sense of it. Hey, you guys.
Hi. So we're here to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
And
Episodes 8?
Mm-hmm. Episode 8. So the girls are the ladies. The women are still in Greece.
On this beautiful yacht.
I can't pronounce the city, but they're on a yacht in the ocean. Captain Jason. They're on the Katina. I think so.
Yes, I would let him have.
I think he's handsome.
Make out with me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he gives good hugs too. I bet. He's so funny because he keeps trying to sit down with them and they keep fucking it up.
That zombie ice cream looks so good.
Was Heather drunk during that?
This is still my first season, my 8th episode with her. I think she was drunk, but the only reason I thought it was because when it started, she's talking to Whitney and she's like, what in the world happened last night? And she was like, well, you were drunk. And I was like, oh, is that drunk Heather?
Yeah.
And it
kind of
seemed the same way as it was the night before because I just rewatched episode 7 before I watched 8. Lisa was way worse than I thought. She actually grabbed her face like this at one time, and I was like, "Oh wait, wait.
If anyone ever grabbed my face, it is one thing. Like I'm not saying all of it's bad. You grab your shoulder, the arm, that will piss me off. You grab my face, I'm like, no boundaries. I'll fucking punch you."
Yeah, so I rewatched it to just kind of be like, where are they again? And then got into the swing of it.
And so this episode right after
I really like Whitney and Heather. So I love that the episode starts with them. I think they're so cute. I could not stop laughing at Bronwyn sleeping on the deck.
I was going to say, because it starts off with her waking up on the deck. I was so confused for a second. I'm like, I thought they were going to like show a flashback. Like maybe they like partied outside.
Or maybe she was like sleepwalking.
Yeah. I was wondering that after that, because they didn't allude to...
After the dinner.
Yeah. Like what their sleeping arrangement was going to be since she's rooming with Britani. And I thought like maybe in the preview it would give a hint. There was no hint. So I thought it was actually really funny because I was wondering, I'm like, where's Bronwyn?
You're like, wait. But then you see her in her pajamas. So you're like, she had luggage, right? Why is she? Because it's giving... shipwrecked and someone pulled you up to see that she's sleeping out there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Maybe not on that couch or whatever, but I would love to see
that would be beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like that would be amazing.
With the sun rising and stuff.
Yeah, like they don't have like a pull-out couch there.
So, how are you enjoying the below deck aspects of like them showing the crew, looking at them like because their shift starts at like 3:30 in the morning.
Funny,
they have
and
to get ready.
I'll tell you this because Bronwyn was on Watch What Happens Live with Sarah Paulson, who I love, and they told her like, oh wait till you see below decks version. She's like, I have to watch that now too. She's like, oh yeah, they're talking about how like just like how you said, like now it's going to be from their perspective, and now I'm like, well, maybe I'm tapped into watching below because I've never cared that much. But at least maybe those episodes I'm gonna watch. Yeah, because they are really. I love all the little chatter that they have, like, and that one guy. I think his name is Drew. I could be wrong. He's the guy that Angie asked to do her hair. He is so hot.
They were like, so you're a hairdresser now?
He's like, no. And I was trying to figure out, like, why did she ask him that?
Well, she asked him to, and I thought it was funny, but then she injures her hand, but I couldn't tell if it was the same time stamp. Yeah. But I was like, oh, well, I'm glad she had him to then do her hair. But I thought he was spot on when he was like, but then all the women are going to want to come and see me at the salon. I was like, honestly,
he's so hot.
He was really hot. I really like Angie. She is really, really funny.
I don't know if it was this episode, because it wasn't she was like groundbreaking. Like she is, and many others. This isn't one where she did anything that was anything out of the ordinary. However, I don't know why I was thinking about her. I was like, I think she is rising up to be one of my favorite housewives of all time.
She just has great timing, which you typically say for Mary. So maybe she's getting some more of that from being around Mary.
And their dynamic continues to shine. Like they are when they go up there.
Because they all wake up and they go up to the upper deck or wherever to sit.
Bronwyn's reading her lovely little book.
And then Lisa comes out and then they all slowly peel off. Yes.
Well, it was funny because Heather, Whitney, Britani, and Lisa comes in like a bull in a china shop, and it's like awkward.
Well, because she says,
she's acting like
something like you're back from death.
Yeah, because Angie was out there too. Yeah,
which was rude because it's not like
they haven't been getting along,
like,
and they haven't been getting along.
Like Lisa's a bully.
Lisa's a bully, and I will tell you this: I cannot. When you have had such a ferocious argument, fight, or when you're simply not in a good space with somebody, when people walk in like that,
like it never happened,
pisses me off. It's not like it was like a little like tiff. It was like Girl, you and Heather were throwing blows basically at each other. You touched her face. You were being so fucking dramatic, like you're Meryl Streep at the back of the boat. I mean, hanging on that, whatever that was, raft, crying in the sea. And you just walking in and this, like.
I don't know how the crew let them do that.
I know.
Even if one of them fell off, they could only reach.
That was not secure. Like, it looked like a little floaty.
They would have had to have had a boat go out behind them.
Yeah, probably.
And then they stay right there. Because even if someone fell off, there was no way. And at night.
Yeah. That's what scared me the most.
Because that water is black.
But space doesn't scare me. I find it fascinating, like outer space.
Mm-hmm.
The ocean.
There's so much shit down there.
Fucking terrifies me.
Yeah.
Especially at night, to your point, where you can't see shit.
Have you ever realized that like astronaut outfits and like deep sea divers is the same? Because it's all like unknown and it's pressurized and their outfits look like almost identical.
That's true.
It's all like so much shit you cannot even understand.
But I think I don't.
First of all, the water be cold.
The boat
dark, would be pushy.
And we already know like there's some scary ass shit that we don't even know exists because we can't like discover them.
Could you swim, or would you be so shocked? You're drunk. There's so many elements. I wonder what kind of liability waiver they had to sign to sit back there.
So many elements. But one thing before that little lunch, you saw Meredith and Lisa kind of going at it a little bit in bed. Remember, she was like,
"Yeah, okay,"
which I thought was really interesting.
I can't figure out Meredith for the life of me.
I don't think anyone ever. I have never been able to understand Meredith.
One, I keep seeing her and not recognizing her.
That's funny and shady.
I don't know if that was the first time I saw her in a baseball cap, but I was like, who's that? And then when they had the zombie party, did she put tracks in her hair? Because her hair's super thick, or maybe she teased it.
She
looks so different every time. And I'm just like, who's that? The only reason I keep knowing it's her is because I can identify the others. And then I'm like, that must be Meredith.
Yeah.
She just keeps looking very, very different. But I think maybe she's relaxed on this trip because I think she looks really youthful.
Not by the end of this episode.
When they're playing the game on the beach, that was my favorite part. Whitney was so strong to pick her up. I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah, she's like she has a banging body. You can tell I want to fuck with her.
So
they're in bed.
Meredith and Lisa talking.
I appreciate I agreed with Meredith in that instance in terms of like defending her friend. She's like, I don't need to say it the way you talk.
I did agree with that.
And I'm like, I agree. I'm like, I will defend my friends the way I will communicate that the way that I talk. I'm not going to talk the way someone else does.
But I also don't think she was standing up for her.
She wasn't, to be fair. Yeah, she really wasn't.
So let me say it in my own way, but let me defend you. But she also was not defending
that
her.
Sentiment I agreed with. However, I'm like, well, you really didn't. You kind of didn't.
That opening shot of Meredith laying down and Lisa sitting up, kind of scrolling on her phone. That's what I imagine every room was like. Mm-hmm. So it was refreshing that we started with Whitney and Heather. And it's not like that. It was more like we're dorm roommates and friends. Because I imagine that everybody would have been kind of awkward backs to each other. Oh my God, yeah. But then I was like, maybe not. Because Mary and Angie are friends.
Yeah, they're not. They're probably like, girl, what the fuck happened last night?
Right. And so when I saw that just their body language, I was like, oh. This is about to be an argument. It kind of was.
Yeah, and it was.
But how do you feel about Lisa being vulnerable like that? Like, you're not defending me. Like, is that coming from a place of, where's my friend? Or is that coming from, I just want to team up on people?
I think Lisa Barlowe is such bullshit.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say something very daring that I could get, not heat, but the Lisa Barlowe fans would get so mad because they are diehard. She has like the Trump effect on the show. I feel like her fans are so loyal to her to a fault because does she make great TV? I 100% think she does. She's entertaining in that sense. But her as a fixture of her personality, I think she's total bullshit. I don't think she's a good person. We're 6 seasons in and she has this same song and dance that at least I have seen for the last 6 years, right? That I'm annoyed with. I'm like, you don't take accountability for anything. Mm-hmm. And when you do, I feel like it's very surface level because you've been pushed to the brink that you kind of almost are backed into a corner. And I don't find it authentic. You keep repeating the same talking points. You keep doing the same shit. You're bringing up old crap that I thought that you were done with, like i.e. the Bronwyn stuff. Like, I am so over her.
The Bronwyn stuff, and then also what we found out on the raft between Lisa and Heather, and she's like, I come to you for the dirt. Why aren't you just admitting it? She was like, I literally will come to you and be like, I heard this. And you'll be like, yeah, that did happen.
Right.
If you're the plug on everybody's stories and drama, she's like, I don't understand why you are not admitting this.
That's a really good point. I think, full disclosure, I'll say this. I agree with what Bronwyn said on Watch What Happens Live. Because she was basically asked, do you think Lisa did all this? Like, put all these stories out. And she said, I don't know if Lisa herself called a publication or whatever, a blogger, a content creator. I think she has the information. She either makes other people do it, or she knows how to get that information out there. And I do agree with that. So in essence, I do agree she's the source of
which
whatever
you're
this
still
is.
Responsible.
Correct.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you're a connector, and I agree with what Heather is saying, like, hey, if you are that bitch that everyone tells everything to. I'm not exactly sure why, what kind of pull she has in Salt Lake City. But if you're going to be that bitch, you're going to be vulnerable to at least, I'll give her, play devil's advocate a little bit, to accusations perhaps of if shit comes up, it's like, well, I told Lisa Barlowe, and you told Lisa Barlowe your shit, and this, and then you, and you are vulnerable to those kind of accusations.
Where's the realism in it all?
I think that's the $1 million question.
Because will we
ever know?
I mean, I believe that you would call me and be like, hey, I just saw your husband. Is this your husband? Right? But you would also have a picture. Is this your husband? Right? Because you're not. And I'm jumping ahead to where Angie says, Lisa told me your husband was out making out with someone and farting.
It's not funny.
Mary says
that scene, her confessional.
I don't know which is more embarrassing,
the making out or the farting. And why are you farting? And she was. This is a prime example.
Clearly, we're missing details.
But this is a prime example why Mary Cosby is one of the best.
I love Mary.
She's sorry, so that funny. Confessional was the highlight of the whole episode for me.
I'm watching this, and as a person, I watch it, and I'm just like, who would I be in this situation? What if Bronwyn wanted to say, wow, I didn't know that about my husband. I want to go call him, but I can't even have that reaction right now.
Yeah.
Because why are you talking about my husband?
Right.
And even before she gets to say, Angie, why didn't you call me and tell me? Because would you want anyone to call you and tell you that?
Right.
I don't want to know my husband's out farting somewhere. So is it the farting? Is it the making out? And so I'm just watching like, who just says this at a dinner table? And even if she wanted to react and to jump ahead, later on, Britani says something similar to Meredith. And you're just like, even if I wanted to say, actually, before I got on this flight, he told me he was cheating. Now we were talking about it at dinner with all these people. And so I'm just like, I don't understand.
Yeah. I think that, and the big difference between those two situations definitely for me was, well, Angie who later apologized to Bronwyn for not really having her back, really in defense of Bronwyn. She apologized for like having to do it in that situation, or doing it in that situation rather. While Britani, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. She's just bringing this shit up. Like, you were trying to poke the bear for whatever reason.
Britani wants to be Bronwyn. She wants to have Bronwyn's
She wants to be the star or something.
Bronwyn is doing a really good job of staying in the show.
Yeah.
When they had those random costumes on, even though Angie got hurt, Bronwyn does enough to stay integrated with all the girls.
And not be irrelevant.
And she has her own little moments with each of them.
Right.
And Britani is...
It's almost like at this point, like I keep having moments where I'm like, okay, Britani's kind of being a little funny, whatever. And then she does something like that where I'm like, okay, you are really stretching. And to me, at least, it's like you're trying so hard to be, it's almost like you want to be promoted to a housewife. So you have to like, I don't know, pull this shit out where I'm like, I don't know. You just were vomiting, taking tequila shots. Meredith was being decent and be like, shouldn't you be doing that?
And she came out with a mask on.
Right. And
like,
no offense,
real zombies.
I would have said the same thing to someone. I'm like, if you're getting seasick, I'm like, you're gonna just take shots right now.
I love that I do love where Britani says, "Why are you even speaking to
I know,
me?"
but that's what it is.
But
funny.
I was like, you don't have the clout to say that. You're not an OG to say that.
That's what I mean. It didn't. Anyone else, I would have been like, okay, bitch. Coming from her, I'm like, you are not that bad bitch that you think that you are. Like, sit the fuck down.
She is in the dating community. I see a lot of videos where people talk about being a pick-me.
She is such a pick-me.
Where she's just like, I'll do all your laundry. I'll clean all your stuff. And it's like, they still don't want that.
She is begging Bravo to give her a snowflake to hold in the opening credits.
But the desperation is so palpable. Like, we can all see it.
Yeah.
I can see it on TV.
Yeah, yep.
It's not good.
So they all meet up. They all scurry off because they thought this was awkward.
With that, where you're going. Bronwyn hears Lisa.
Yeah, so Britani and Lisa are out there talking shit.
Is there any chance she can't just walk down the stairs and be like, "Hello, I can hear you"?
You know, I thought that was interesting because she's so funny because she's like, "I can hear you," and so I'm like, and it wasn't like that intense yet. And then they go on her daughter talking about bringing that shit up again, and that's what I thought Bronwyn was going to go down there and be like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Yeah. Moments later, Angie comes, and by the way, I loved Angie's look.
That sheer jacket,
I love her so much. They talk about it, and they all go to that like breakfast that they're having together, and she unleashed the beast, and she really went off on Lisa, rightfully so. And here's what's so funny in going back to Lisa Barlowe stuff, because Bronwyn is correct. They made like they made amends.
I forgot about it till I saw the flashback.
I kind of did too, because I'm like, wait, do they have a problem again? Because
and she says
she's kind of. They went into this trip. Lisa and Angie were going to a hotel, and like even that little stupid ass like joke, like I thought you were like, are you back from the dead or something? And I'm like, girl, you're not friends with her. You can't say that's not funny. I would be like, fuck you.
But again, to your point, so maybe that's a Lisa thing, acting like we didn't just argue.
That would fall in line with how her personality is.
Passive aggressive. That
very to the max.
That's the opposite of her aggressive personality.
To the max. And
it's weird. Yeah.
And so I like that Bronwyn really handed it to her. And then it comes out.
I didn't though, because
really,
I
don't know how
she's like as far as I can go is to use these words. I feel like she was really pissed. Like
I would be.
Like if she was a different person, she would have hit her. But she's like, all I have are these words. She was like, don't talk about my family. Like I really was like, oh my gosh, like she's pissed.
And that escalates. And I agree with you. I mean, like children are off limits. And this whole thing, because I know that, I mean, it came up last season about the issues with Bronwyn's daughter and the paternal grandparents. Like it's a whole thing there. And I remember it, but I don't want to speak too much on it. I don't want to get the details wrong, but it's not good.
I didn't know what it was. Okay.
She does not have a good relationship with that part of the family. Lisa happens to know those parents, not through Bronwyn, separately. Oh, wow. And they had a moment last season when they were still in a good place. Like they're at a nail salon crying and she's opening up to Lisa. And then find out like Lisa is like reaching out to them and all this stuff. And that's what was coming up in that conversation.
Us the text message,
And now she's saying this all in a negative way. And so I agree with Bronwyn. Like, there's something that it's like, okay, if you're bringing my kid into this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something about her personality or anything like that, but you know that this is a very sensitive topic that we decided, no, we're not talking about it. There's also no reason for anyone but Bronwyn to talk about this. Yeah. So why the fuck are you talking to, of all people, badmouth Britani down there, who would, and maybe this is strategic, who is ready and willing to talk shit about Bronwyn?
Ready and willing to talk shit about everybody.
Exactly.
So I'm listening to you, and I'm kind of thinking I'm on Todd's side. Why would you go and spend time with people who do not like you and do not have your best interest?
And they replay that like audio in the back. She's like,
because I'm like, why do people keep wanting to trust Lisa when she repeatedly shows? And then she has that whole part at the end where she's like, I don't do that. I'm not manipulative. And I'm like, bitch. It's been 8 episodes and I've seen you do that every. Oh, and then she goes, but if I'm pushed, I'll get in it. You're always pushed because you're always in it.
Which also leads.
That made me sad. It was so highly emotional. It made me sad.
But it leads to, at that same breakfast, they talk about that. But then here's Angie, the good friend that she is. Queen that she is.
What was even the segue for her comment?
I forgot. It was something like Lisa saying I can't remember what the exact phrase was. I don't know if it was what you just said, but
probably saying she
was like,
talks about them.
Right, like she doesn't like do that. And she's like, you're not a good friend because you told me with your mouth or your hair over your mouth after we made all these amends with you were like, I love you even when I'm mad at you. And then they all went to her restaurant and Angie says she told her that Todd is cheating on her by making out with other women and farting. And I'm trying so hard to say that, like, because how could you not, like, why do you got to include that last part? And what does that even mean? You're at the club and you're kissing and you just keep farting?
You keep hearing the farts and you turn and you're like, is that Todd?
Like,
there's a lot that we're missing.
And I'm, no offense.
To Mary's point, I'm embarrassed.
I am too. I honestly, I kind of was like, yeah, I would be too. I'm like, I don't know which part of that equation I'd be mad at more. Like, really, you're out there shitting yourself?
But you know what she doesn't say, that Meredith specifically says? I am in a monogamous relationship. Meredith very
made sure to say that, which is a very interesting word when you're.
Maybe is Bronwyn in an open marriage? Like, it was a very, very specific.
She did say that to Britani, who's kind of like, Lisa keeps telling on herself. And she literally did in the scene when she said, well, my friend told me.
She did not say anything because she was just like...
But she kept doing that.
She looked so busted.
It was almost like she kept changing the phrasing slightly. I'm like, okay, but you're saying...
The way Angie said it, Lisa was right there sitting next to Todd. And then it slowly gets, well, I heard from someone that this happened.
And it's like, but you told on yourself, like, well, that doesn't make it any better.
Todd runs a cybersecurity firm. We looked it up.
Yeah. That's like
he
serious
would not
word.
be out in a regular bar making out with
somebody. No offense. With all due. Look at him.
Allegedly.
He does not look like a playboy. That's like...
You'd be surprised.
He is an old white guy.
He would cover his tracks if he wanted to do something.
But I feel like... I guess I'd be curious of like whoever the fuck told Lisa Barlowe this. Like when? Like last year?
Was it last week?
Yeah. Like while Bronwyn
was I married to him?
Right. Like when? Because...
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's going to be... If it's out in public, that's going to be an easy thing to trace to some extent. Or it could be. But she told on herself because she was like, "Well, I heard that,"
and they're
so
not.
I was like,
"Okay,
friends. so you are admitting that you repeated those," in which she finally did say that, and she would end up apologizing.
And she kind of pretended to be chastised, where she was like, "I will not talk about them again." Yeah, but you've said that 2 episodes
exactly.
ago.
So
we know that that's not true. But I have a note here. Do you think that Meredith is a good friend to Lisa?
I think Meredith is being the best friend that she knows how she can be in the situation that she is.
That is a
Lisa.
very political answer. So I say that because from this lunch, Heather's like, hey, let's get off this boat. Let's go have fun. Let's go have fun. So they all take the boats over to a beach, and on below deck, this is always a big thing because they find a nice cave or a nice little something, and they like set up lunch and drinks. And it's a whole thing about whether the food is prepped too early and then it's cold, or it's prepped right on, or the girls take too long to get dressed and then they don't have their lunch, all of it. So all the women look fantastic. We looked up their ages before. I feel like the youngest is 41, 39. And then the eldest is 53, 54.
Yeah. Bronwyn and Whitney are the youngest.
And they look absolutely 50. Amazing.
Yeah,
and so...
they do. Sorry,
Lisa
Mary and Lisa talk.
Is talking to Mary, and she's just
Mary's like, okay, I'm trying to be the preacher that she is, like
because
listening.
She's trying to find the middle, and she's being a good.
I appreciate it. I can't stand Lisa, but I appreciate her like being the adult in the room. I'm like, okay, let me hear your side. Like, how's your brain working, and how are you communicating? Like, tell me.
So I was surprised to see them.
That was also so awkward because I've seen this so many times in different shows. There they are, like having an intimate conversation about Meredith. And then, of course, there's Meredith in the background, like shuffling around. And I love when they do that thing where they start like minimizing their words because they're trying to continue the conversation.
Or you change it to like, instead of Meredith said to she was saying.
Yeah, and she's like, because like, and then get in very general terms. And then finally she's like, Meredith, is that you? I'm like, bitch, you know it's Meredith. Like, fuck off.
I thought you were going to say, when they're having this deep conversation, someone comes around, drinks? Spicy margarita?
I always love that. Didn't they do that? They had the like, do you want...
So I was laughing. I was like, wait, we've had enough scenes with Mary where she says, can you believe it? I'm standing up for Angie. Yeah, so I'm like, those two were not friends. But those two did not have on their bikinis, or at least didn't want to get in the water.
Oh, you mean Lisa?
Yeah.
And her Bermuda, whatever those
Lisa
pants
and Mary did not get in the water because we see like a montage of them like snorkeling and looking at all this
stuff. Can also
in the water.
say, too, that awkward massage that she got, and she was like on her. I'm like, that does not look comfortable. Getting massaged like that.
Massage you with clothes? That's why.
Well, also, but she's like leaning on her back hands, getting a back massage. I'm like, your muscles are tensed up because you're putting them all the prep. Like,
which is why you had a shitty massage. That's why Whitney's having this great one right here.
Exactly, that looked nice.
And so they're chatting, and I'm like, this is so weird that I'm like, you're so low on Friends. You're chatting with Mary. I was like, wait, I'm only 8 episodes in, and even I know that this is odd. And so she's talking about how she's not a good friend. She's like, I just want more. I just want more. I will tell you, Meredith can advocate for herself.
Yeah.
That was the loudest and the most words.
I wonder if her producer told her, like, maybe you should walk over there.
Because she's just like, that's not what's happening. And if you don't think that I'm doing this. And I was like, oh, she has a voice. Oh, she has a voice. And then I was like, oh, that we've never gotten that voice in defense of Lisa. You've never. So in that point, I don't think you are being the friend that she wants you to be. Now they'll have to have a deeper conversation about, look, if you can't do that for me and that's what I need from you, let's not be friends.
I think the question then is, are Lisa's expectations of Meredith, is that even just? You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna make an assumption based on what we're seeing. It's okay. I hear that. I can understand what it's like to have a friend and maybe they're not being the friend that you need them to be. That's a very fair and real thing. However, I think whatever in your brain that you're wanting, to your point, from Meredith can advocate for herself and the way that she needs to communicate. Now, is there a question whether you feel like she's sticking up for you? That might be the criticism.
Yeah.
But Lisa, you try to tell this bitch over here how she needs to stick up for you. That is not your place. I can't tell someone how to stick up for me. I just need someone to show up for me.
Especially not in 6 seasons, because you've seen how she.
Well, and they've known each other for I think 20. I'm like, what?
Okay.
Like, give me a fucking break here. Here's the thing, Lisa Barlowe this season. This is definitely a takedown Lisa season. I think it's her own fault. I'm like, listen, you want to run your mouth, tell people shit, and also say, like, basically that you're better than this whole crew. You said that on more than one occasion now at this one season.
You're lucky I'm friends with you.
Right, yeah. Like, you all don't, you don't do what I do.
I have a very different life than you.
I'm like, fuck, I won't say anything mean that I already have at this point. But I think that she is what is the analogy I want to use? It's like her nails are clawed in to the side of the mountain because she's trying to hang on for dear life.
But why? Is she trying to?
Because I don't think her life is that great as she's making it seem.
I was going to say, I think she's got a lot of stuff happening.
Then quit the show. What's stopping you? Then quit.
I know. Maybe this is her one outlet, and she's like, "Damn, even this isn't working." Whereas Britani, I don't think she has anything going. She's so desperate to make this work. It's like, girl,
that she will be messy.
Your desperation is so even to the point of keeping her hair looking crazy. So that it's just the punchline.
It's like they have the same goal, but they have 2 different game plans.
I know. Angie runs salons. She could take care of that.
And Angie's authentic, and that's why people connect with Angie. She's just funny and real and empathetic. When she's fiery and maybe wrong, she owns it. And Lisa, this is what I mean. She has the Donald Trump effect. And she has all these loyal fans that she's tapped into something that they just think she is God's gift to Real Housewives. But she says the same shit over and over again to make you believe, to the point where you're almost worn down. Like, well, maybe she is right, because she keeps repeating it all on this. I'm not. I didn't do that. I don't do this. She is such a gaslighter.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid.
And I bet she voted for him too. Just saying.
If she votes, I can see her saying, "I'm too busy to vote."
Oh, gross.
So, okay, what did you think about the ladies on the beach? That cute little game.
I love the game because I love shit. We need to see them having fun. I didn't think I really got you just run, drink, and then Britani falling down.
Britani fell. It looks so painful. I was like, her boob's gonna pop. It looks so painful.
Who was that? Who was it said it? Angie, or was it Bronwyn? Taking a snapshot. If I could have a snapshot of her, that was hilarious.
I don't know what necking is, but I'm pretty sure it's why I got kicked out of BYU.
Oh yeah, I was trying to. I'm gonna use that word. His accent is so hot. I think he's so sexy.
That was so funny.
I
don't know how I feel about Britani still being a pick-me, trying to get with the crew. It's like, you can order sex. You can either find someone, you can get a toy. Why? And why? Who is going to come and lay down in this bed, and as soon as their elbow hits this Jared-speaking unicorn?
I hate that fucking thing. And this in the preview for the next episode, someone throwing it off the board. And I'm like, well, no, don't throw it in the ocean and litter the ocean.
So let's do the zombie party.
Okay.
So this one feels like it was short, but I think it's
because it had a lot.
The episode was all at one location. They're still on the
really,
yacht.
When you think about it, this is the second time now in this season with the same group of women. The whole episode is taking place in one. They're not having to do all this shit.
I like it.
But the zombie party, which I thought it was. But you just see
Mary dressed up.
Even Mary dressed up. It was such camp.
Lisa was not into it. She put on one headband. She didn't do anything gory. The crew being dressed up, that's on brand for Below Deck. They always get into whatever party.
I know. I was like, wow, they're really committed. Mm-hmm. I was like,
they want that tip at the end. That fat envelope.
Can you imagine if they didn't get one from someone?
They would.
Or no.
Heather actually knows them, but no, I know what you mean.
I don't know what the percentage is. Like, is it 20%?
No, it's just whatever. So you just tip based off of what you feel the service
$10?
was. No, it's like it's like $3,000 a person at least. So it all.
No wonder why you have to be rich to do these things.
It has to do with the food. It has to do with like even how they bring out the food. And they're like, Mary, this one doesn't have nuts and berries for you.
So is it? Do you
all
think
of those things?
Housewives aside, would it be? Considering this dynamic, because it's Heather's trip, is Heather responsible for the tip or all the ladies? If I'm agreeing to go on this, am I contributing to the host?
Tip? On Below Deck, it's the host that gives. And then you typically invite like
however many.
Usually it's like 6 people you'll see on a trip.
And they don't have to. They don't have to.
I don't know. They don't show us that. But the host is the one that hands over the envelope to Captain.
I have to imagine. But then again, it's like, what if you invite one of your like middle class friends?
I don't think so. My husband's been.
No one's inviting me to yachts.
Baby showers, and they're like, "Come down for this." He's like, "Oh, I don't really have time." He's like, "Oh, I got the flights, I got the hotel. We just want to see you." What are you gonna say? I know. You're like, all right, great.
Well,
so
I guess that makes it easier.
Hey, come on our yacht. 3 days.
Yeah,
I got it.
But I guess a chartering is different than if someone owns their own yacht. I'm assuming.
Can you imagine?
I'm not a big fan of
Angie,
boats.
you didn't give me your money for the. No,
I
don't think they're splitting.
How do I figure that out? If I'm at home, I'm like, okay, I have to save up for this trip. I mean, I'm sure they're not having to think about like, oh, I have to save up for my yacht trip.
Lisa might be.
Oh.
She might be like, let me get a cash advance on one of those cards so I can put the money in.
I'm gonna make that a clip. True.
I'm just saying.
But like, how do I plan? I'm like, okay, I'd be so stressed out.
I couldn't imagine what you would pack, and then you want to become Bronwyn and have a whole suitcase full of these puffed up characters.
What are those in? Like,
those were so funny. I think that she would be hilarious.
Oh, we should talk about before the zombie dinner.
Yeah,
she goes in the room. Who are they gonna go do that to?
I think Heather. I feel like they were going to Heather.
I thought it was so funny. And poor Angie. They dressed up in these inflatable costumes. Mary's such a vibe, like laying there lap. You guys are so funny. And then she closes the door on her hand.
So when I saw it the first,
I've jammed my finger before in a car door, but that I was like, oh my god, my body.
So she says, I thought your foot would have caught it. I had to rewatch it. Okay. It was the inside of the door. It wasn't even the outside part because it was this hand.
Like where the hinges are?
Yeah, she had her hand right here walking, and it was this part. That's why it like took that whole nail.
My hands are in pain right now because I can only even the thought of what that is probably gonna feel.
And if it wasn't so much whirlwind of her bleeding and all of it, they would have zoomed in because you can actually see when you rewatch it, and you're like, oh, it was the inside part. Well, the door wants to close,
right? Well, when she was like out because she said that, but then. She was kind of laughing. She's like, I'm going to rally. It's okay because I'm committed.
Well, you know how pain works.
And so I thought it was like, oh, maybe it was swollen. And then she shows her fucking bloody ass hand with her huge ass diamond. When I'm like, oh, that poor diamond. I was like, damn, she really hurt her hand. And she had that whole like bandage on her finger.
But then I couldn't take them serious. Bronwyn's dancing in her shark. She's like, are you always like this? I was like, Bronwyn is so
She's a vibe.
Funny.
I would love to.
Just the idea of her having a whole suitcase full of those.
Just like, I wouldn't even think about that. I'm like, I'm going to bring inflatable costumes.
Don't you just need enough outfits? Well, I guess it's 3 days. And I'm a super light packer. Like for 3 days, I would just take a backpack.
When I go on a trip, I don't care if it's overnight, I have such anxiety of like the what ifs. Like, what if? What if
this is what I'm wearing?
Bless you, because I can't. Okay, so we get to the dinner.
Zombie dinner. I loved everyone's costumes. Or their makeup. I thought it was cute that everyone got into it.
And what a random theme.
I know, but I kind of...
I mean,
a couple things I know about you, talking about Heather and this whole like leaving Mormonism and stuff, and I'm just like, she is so fun. And for us,
tis the season.
No, it was just zombies. Just because. So I thought it was really cute. But I don't know where Lisa she just feels like an outsider in a really odd way.
I think she's done it to herself, for sure.
Meredith even dressed up. Heather went...
full on.
No, Britani went overboard because she's the pick-me. Even had a full mask. Everybody was cute, and then she's just there. I did like that she apologized to Bronwyn. I think, was that when, or that was during lunch? Who? I don't think Lisa says anything at all during dinner.
I loved Bronwyn's because she had the octopus, whatever thing. It was at that dinner because they were just kind of talking out loud. And why I think she's such a genius is you can never fault her because the way she talks and her voice is very, very steady and very diplomatic. And she doesn't say Lisa by name. She's just saying out loud, like to the group, like, I don't think we should be talking about our families, our children. I thought we did this and that. And then Lisa does. She leans over. She clearly knows that's about her, otherwise she would be a dumbass. And she apologizes.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry I did that. And after today, I'm not going to. And well, I love what Bronwyn said, and she said it in Watch What Happens Live too. She said, I was raised, I think I'm paraphrasing this, but she's like, I was taught to acknowledge someone when they're speaking, and that's why she said, okay. And I'm like, that is a badass
But
move.
she said, but I do not accept her apology.
Exactly. But I'm like, that, because, my loud mouth, like, I don't trust you, whatever. And she was like, okay.
And if
I'm
it
like,
was the Atlanta show, they would have been like, are you talking about me?
Right.
Just say my name if you're talking about me.
That is so true. And to be fair, if I was I wouldn't do half the things that Lisa did. I'm messy, but I'm not like gonna backstab you to my friend like that. But if someone was like doing that when I'm clearly like I'm not, like you're talking about me, I probably would be like, just say my fucking name. But I understood what Bronwyn was doing, and she's so smart about it. And then we get into the Britani and Meredith of it all, and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
So somebody, I guess Britani says, like, we all talk about each other. I know something about your husband.
Which is on TikTok, where she vomits, comes back, takes shots.
Because Meredith says, why are you drinking alcohol?
Yeah,
you were just
but I thought, like, I'm not a big Meredith fan, but I would have said the same thing. I'm like, you're seasick?
I don't think she was seasick. I think she was just drunk.
I was looking at her eyes. I think she was kind of drunk,
I think she was just drunk.
Heather was certainly drunk.
I thought Meredith looked nice, but again, the big hair, I was just like, is that her? It must be her.
It's like,
I feel like she wears glasses, and so maybe she's wearing, like, color contacts or something. I don't know. I keep double taking, like, who's that?
She's a very interesting, but she's kind of lanky and has a really big boobs, and she's really thin. But yeah,
that was surprising to me because she yells at Meredith about, I saw somebody
on TikTok,
and then they show us the video, and it's a lady saying, "Oh, I saw you out
in Columbus, Ohio." I read about.
I love the Columbus, Ohio part.
Well, here's the thing. I will say this because I know they go into. I've never heard of this. Blah blah blah. I do. It was so funny because that's how I found that Seth used to work for a company here in big one that is they filed for bankruptcy, but they're actually now back in business.
You said you looked that up. You looked at his
and
LinkedIn.
So because it came from. I remember. It's a little dicey, my memory.
Oh, and this show was recorded months ago.
Yes, and I remember hearing of I don't know if it was an article or for all I know, maybe it was the same video, but something about an Uber driver and Seth Marks in Columbus, Ohio. And I do remember that. And that is not to defend Britani, trust me. But I also don't remember it being some groundbreaking story. Like, I follow all the Bravo. I don't remember it being anything like... So I think it was more like bullshit kind of a thing. I feel like Britani is the kind of chick because she's a tryhard and a pick-me. It's like she has on her phone and her notes app like things to bring up at any given time. You know what I mean? Like
maybe that's why she was recording it last time, so she could go like dissect the conversation and make sense of it.
Girl, that's good.
I do learn a lot from TikTok. I do not quote it like a public source.
Oh, no, like as if I'm saying like, well, the Wall Street Journal just reported.
Or like when they are typically talking about Lisa and actual court cases, and then now they're talking about Bronwyn and actual stuff in the blogs.
Right.
Now we're just quoting TikTok as if I couldn't make a video right now saying...
I could say that.
You know, I had dinner last night with Bronwyn.
Right.
I don't know how to say this because I'm new to the show. It feels classist to be like, Britani, why are you yelling at this OG? Who are you to yell at her?
Yeah.
But I don't know if that dynamic was supposed to be there, but it just felt very weird.
That's an often theme of people like newbies and more OG or tenured housewives.
Okay.
It's like, I don't want to say there's like an unspoken rule. I don't like any of that because I'm like, if you do bad shit, get called out for it.
Yeah.
However, this is a little different because I feel like Britney's just trying
too hard,
and it's almost like she's experimenting with every angle possible. Like, okay, how could I bring up this and that and this and be relevant? Then I'm like, Meredith is the last one that, because of the way she fights, kind of, not dirty, but she's very in your, she's all in
because she blows up and has
exactly. She's all in. If I was to attempt to be devil's advocate, what was the end goal of you bringing that up at dinner when you just said to her, "Why are you talking to me?"
just being drunk.
Right, exactly. So it's like, I would appreciate it. And she'd be like, oh, I don't want you talking to me, but since you are, I'm going to bring what I just saw on TikTok, you fucking bitch. Like, if you're going to be messy, I say go fucking dirty then.
And then Whitney's like, I saw it too. She showed me.
And I was like, oh, Whitney.
And then Meredith, the lawyer, oh, so it's around because you're sharing it with everyone? I was like,
it was good.
It was good. But again, this is the most I've seen Meredith speak. And so I'm just like, I'm fascinated. Like, I would rewatch the whole thing and would love to know a little bit more of her story. Like, I don't know. I feel like she's from Salt Lake City.
She's not.
She feels very like East Coast-ish, very like.
There is a girl on TikTok. I'll send you one of her videos. But she's been doing this series on all the franchises where she started doing deep dives on like all their backgrounds. It's so good. I don't know what her like background is, like her 9 to 5 or whatever. But she does all the she started with Salt Lake City because it's on. Now she did all the franchises and like go back where they grew up. And they're not like 10-minute videos. They are like, I would say they're probably like maybe 5 or 6 minutes at most. Yeah. And then she gives kind of her opinion. And but it's really interesting because you learn about like some of the girls that like own businesses I never heard of. I'm like, so you learn like so and Meredith was on there and she's from New York, I believe. Okay. But her dynamic has always been very interesting on the show because she doesn't live full time in Salt Lake City. Quite frankly, I think she only lives there for filming because she rents a house every year and it's always different.
Oh wow.
It's never the same. She does not have a family home. I mean, her son is on Next Gen New York City.
I think he lives told in New me York. That, but I didn't know who Meredith was at the time.
Yeah, and so it's like I don't know. Like,
so why this season? I wonder why she wanted to be on this series
on Salt Lake City.
Because there's a New Jersey one. There's a New York.
I don't know. I don't know because her shop.
She does bring a different energy.
And I think it is an interesting story because if I remember correctly, she moved to Salt Lake City because her husband's job brought him there. So she did. And then I think he got.
And now he's working in Ohio, working everywhere.
But I don't know if he still does since the company doesn't exist. It does, but not in the same capacity. But I don't know what he does now.
But I'm watching and I'm just like, in what world would I want someone to bring that up to me at a dinner party with all these other people? Hey, I saw your husband making out with an Uber driver or connecting with someone that was the Uber driver and they hooked up later. And I don't know. I'm sure I'm overthinking it and overanalyzing it, but I'm just like, what if that was her first time hearing that? When did she even have time to be like, you heard that? Who told you? Wait, is he doing that? Can I call him? Oh my God, that hurts my feelings. You don't even get that moment. You just have to like defend yourself sharply.
Walking away from this episode, I'm still thinking about is Bronwyn's place on the show. She's clearly a star. And it makes me wonder, I remember I presented this to you before they went on the trip when the accusations about her came out and her and Todd were at the bar. The question still remains that I'm still curious about now with this added fucking thing about him making out and farting. It sounds like when she was on Watch What Happens Live, still business as usual in her relationship. There was nothing salacious that came out. But it keeps making me think about where does she go on the show? Because all this shit, and I'm not saying I'm pro Todd, not pro Todd. I'm just saying I'm pro Bronwyn.
Well, if she gets to tell him, she can tell him whatever version she wants to.
And he definitely knows now.
All right. No, I really enjoyed this episode. I really liked
I did too. It continues
and Heather keeps
to be
being
good.
Drunk. I think she's been drunk on both
And
episodes.
you know what? I will say this. I've said this to you several times now. I can't think of another housewife to this extent on any other franchise where it really seems like, I don't know if Bravo, production, all of the above are doing this. And I can't think of a tangible thing other than what we're watching. She really is kind of the glue of this show. She really is. It's almost like she is the moderator. I think about like Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw with the voice in the background. I think of Grey's Anatomy and I think of Meredith Grey. It's almost like she is the narrator of the show. And each episode, and maybe it's because this is her trip, so I'm hyper focused on her. The dynamics of all the relationships, it makes me wonder what happens with the dynamics. Her and Lisa are at odds, but Heather is such a staple on the show. But Lisa Barlowe fans are going to argue, so is Lisa Barlowe. And I do think, as much as I dislike Lisa Barlowe, her absence, that intrigues me, not in a positive way, in a like, oh gosh. I don't know why. I think because she's an OG, she's such a staple that they would need some sort of like blood in there that could really, I don't know.
Maybe it would be Britani.
No.
Well, do you know what I was about to say with Lisa? I was about to say, but Lisa, you're boring. That's what Mary said to Meredith.
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about that. That
like,
was hilarious. I was
wow,
like,
maybe that's why I was so shocked that Meredith was
she was like,
so much this episode. Because Meredith, I'm telling you, for this to be my first introduction, I would have thought she was her silent sister because she has been very outside of the one clip. So you agree with Mary in that scene? Yeah, outside of the one clip where we saw Meredith at her store with her husband and daughter, nothing. I mean, like we see her, but she's just not memorable on camera, even though she wears the kooky outfits. I feel like that was the last time we talked about her. What I'll say with this, because you haven't watched the previous seasons, because she kind of she doesn't have the Lisa Barlowe effect, but she does have this like people love Meredith because she did have like a handful of one-liners that she said. Okay, they are expired, gone. I don't care anymore. To your point, I now thinking about it, I'm like, what are you offering the show? Now. Yeah. You're kind of right. I'm like, I know about you because I know you on the show for 6 years, but what the fuck are you showing us that is so salacious in your life or very interesting? Like, I'm not seeing shit. Well, now that her son is on the New York series, maybe she can fade, and Lisa maybe into like an Amy type of role. Maybe not even Meredith if she doesn't even move there. Maybe she and Bronwyn. Because Bronwyn said she was... That could be something. We don't know. Well, I'm excited. Maybe we'll see Amy again this season, for all we know. Oh, okay. So I Googled... Amy? No. So we're watching the show, and I was like, oh, this is fun. Okay, when's it over? 19 episodes. I was like, damn. So we'll be talking about this for a long time. They said this is matching season 2 and having... Or maybe season 4 of having 19 episodes. So I was like... We'll be talking about this in 2026. I can't wait for the reunion. I'm so excited for whatever the reunion. Okay. Well, it's so good that I'm like, what else is going to happen? We're going to watch it together live. So you guys can see our reactions. And you know what they will do? Otherwise, I'm not going to watch it. No, I do not like to see people. I will strap you down because you will watch it with me. And we could always go live and do it. But at some point, I have to imagine it'll be happening soon if that's the case. Because they always do a mid-season trailer too, of like they'll always go like, what's to come in the real, and that I'm gonna guess if that's the case, probably after next week we'll see a mid-season trailer, which then will help guide us like okay, where is the ship, like where is it going? Because it's already edited, right? Yeah. They're just now scheduling them out. Well, they do like confessionals like while the show's air, so they probably are just finishing up confession, or I'm sure they're probably finished by now, but. The first few episodes will air and they're still doing like confessionals of like watching whatever, like maybe the second half of the season. Oh, wow. You know what I didn't tell you this. I had a dream the other night that we were invited to BravoCon. Ooh. So that just means we have to keep talking about Housewives. That's fine. And you know, all right, you guys. BravoCon next year, 2026. This was fun. So we're going to be on BravoCon and then take a yacht trip. If we somehow become now this house, like Bravo podcasters, every year, like they have people that host panels at BravoCon that do what we're doing. I'm like, so I had a whole dream about this. I don't remember the details because I woke up from it, but we were invited and we were in cute outfits and we were like in our hotel room. I can be Miranda Priestley and you can be like, who's that? And you're like, that's Meredith Marks. I'm like, oh, hi. Because I'm not going to know the people. You should have saw me at Bravo. The one time I went to Bravo. All right, you guys, this was amazing. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Listening. Bye. Christmas tree cake was so good. There was no countdown. I'm nobody as per usual. Start over. So depressing start. Hey, you guys. Hi. Drink squad. Drink squad.